Let's take a look at what's going on with the skies right now, November 20th, 2024. This is constellational astrology, sidereal astrology. First of all, we want to take a look at the moon. This is extremely important, and this is why you're going to want to know. You see, the moon is transitioning from Gemini to Cancer, and now it's going to conjoin, which is right about now, Mars. Now it's making this wonderful trine with Neptune as well as the Sun. So all of us, and this wonderful kite with Pluto. So all of us are starting to collectively understand what's happening in the world globally. And this is going on through the tribes of women. Women are going to be actually acting as angry and frustrated and irritated in a very masculine way, stating that they're here to protect their children. This is the fourth house. This is Mars in Cancer. This is a strong protection, but it's a healing energy because now they're taking charge. They're banding together in a collective way, but they're doing this more toward Cancer. This is a strong protection, but it's a healing energy because now they're taking charge. They're banding together in a collective way, but they're doing this more toward Cancer. This is a strong protection, but it's a healing energy because now they're taking charge. They're banding together in a collective way towards the government and in the workplace. Now, we may not be privy of understanding this because they're not going to make this mainstream. Therefore, you're going to have to do your research, but I'll do a little bit for you right now. Such as recently the women in Parliament using the tradition of Haka to express their disdain and, I guess, rebellion against recent government agenda. So don't just look out for the news for some of this. Like I said, it won't be mainstream, but look within your heart and your soul around how this might be a topic of discussion, overhearing it, looking at maybe shorts or TikToks or YouTube, whether you agree with it or disagree with it, whether you think it's insanity or it's useless or it's groundbreaking and pioneering, we're basically going to be seeing the onset and the energy and the feeling idealistic actions that need to be taken around women and children, and how this is something that is so paramount in our lives that it dates back hundreds and hundreds of years. This is why I'm seeing more of an onset of things being brought up that was done 100 years ago, 200 years ago. Mars opposing Pluto means anger of years gone by, things that had happened a long time ago that's been buried under the rug, which is Neptune as well. So we're going to feel this energy around caring and wanting to be able to care for our children whenever there is a few planets in water. We've also got the North Node and the South Node in Pisces, which means that people feel that there is a strong need for an enormous amount of healing. This is close to Neptune as well. Therefore, we're going to begin to feel anger, bitterness, sorrow, sadness, and that there is no hope for the future if we can't make these changes. You may feel this within yourself. You may feel hopeless, stuck. The energy is, where do I go? What am I doing with this? What am I doing with my life? What's my presence? What's my future? Very strong now, very powerful. So you're doing a deep psychological insight into what's the meaning of me and what's the meaning of the world around me. That's basically Mercury in Scorpio. Again, this is sidereal constellational astrology. And not only will it be fed with resentment and anger, bitterness, sorrow, it will also be introspective and wondering what is triggering you and why is this triggering you, and how can you do a psychoanalytical uh, research within your own soul. What can you say and what can you do, and how are your words and your thoughts and your language being shut down or shut out? This is Mercury with Saturn, and this will be from authority figures. It could be your own therapist or a teacher or maybe a partner that you feel is having an authority or bullying or pushing you. And with Neptune, you're going to feel like, what's the point in saying anything? They're not going to understand the depth of, no, I don't even understand it. How can I explain it to anybody else? But the good news is that with Sun and Neptune hovering around for the next week or a bit, dancing around with each other, there are going to be some in your personal life, you might be experiencing some legal actions that need to take place, which will be extremely successful, but you may see this globally as well. With Uranus opposed to Sun, it's not quite 100% yet, but it will be in the next few months. There will be sudden volatile actions that will take place against authority around the children. It's going to be in the indigenous. It will be things that had happened 100 years ago in Canada, in the United States, and that's going to filter through into Australia and wherever there is a strong indigenous culture that has been misrepresented and taken advantage of as well as abused in the past. This is, I promise you, this is good news. This is something that we want to see. And so when you're feeling this energy and how you can heal, you don't have to step out in a big way and do something powerful. You can just be sympathetic, empathetic, share the news, share with somebody that this is inaccurate, they're not right about their perception, and do this in a way where you're educating them. It's not bullying them, not cutting them down or criticizing them in any way. This is an energy around compassion, care, nurturing. Now, with Pluto in Capricorn, it can be a little challenging because it really has to do with authority. I also want to take a look at your educational system and just how did you fit in with the educational system when you were younger? And if you felt that you were dismissed, it was not right for you, it was wrong, you were labeled, you struggled, you had difficult time, remember it's not you. Okay. It has to do with however your own personal experience was in the educational system. So let's say, for example, you were ridiculously artistic and creative with very right brained, where you would do well in the arts. Or anything that has to do with the creative brain, or maybe with therapy or counseling or working with people in an empathetic, sympathetic way. Well, this may not have been taught to you to have this realization or nurture it when you were a child through the educational system or with your parents. So that would be something as an example that you would want to look at. With this being said, this is the energy of the stars. I hope that this helps you throughout your next few days. Namaste. Askhollyhall.com. By the way, could you like and subscribe? Most people watching my videos don't like or subscribe. Namaste.